Okay, now that first startup and the first heat cycle is complete, I'd like to do a little bit of talking about this bike. This is a 1999 KX250, and I put the 1994 KX250 throwback graphics on it. Looks fantastic. Really good job. In my previous video right before the startup, I mentioned a couple of things about fit and function on the KX, and it just this little fitment things, and I'm not talking about the engine, little things that kind of bug people that are really into picking nitpicky stuff like me. For example, this, I can't get it to lay flat. I even tried to heat it, but I didn't want to melt it or anything, so little things like that. What else was there? I noticed there was a bunch of snap rings too, as opposed to lock nuts or anything like that on the bike. Everything really went together really good. She's got a lot of compression. I did not do a compression test on it, but I'm thinking it's probably somewhere in the 130 range, about like my CR. And I had some extra plugs. These plugs are so cheap, and the BR7s are in a really good heat range, especially for two strokes that aren't going to be, screamed a lot, so they don't foul as easy. They're a little bit hotter plug than the 8s or 9s, so I'm happy about that. The graphics went on really good. I used the wet method, right, with the soapy water, and kind of squeegeed it out, and it worked out really good. Now the seat cover, I bought it off of eBay, and they said it was a 1994 seat cover, and without thinking, I was thinking that it would fit a 99 seat, but it does not, clearly. So, yeah, there's way too much, and if I pull it tight, the Kawasaki completely disappears. So, anyway, what I'm doing is I bought some eggplant color material from Amazon.com for seat covers, and I also bought some purple, just in case. I'm trying to get it to kind of match this purple here. So I'm going to go ahead and recover the seat with that material, and then take it to a silk screener and see if they can't print me either the Kawasaki logo, or I'm looking really for a splash, you know what I mean, a little bit of a splash, kind of like what I have going on here. But no, it's really good. The whole bike rattled too. When I first bought it, it ran, but it rattled. My goodness. So the whole brake lever issue, it rattled like crazy. Come to find out, I think this has been worn out. The inner part where the bolt goes, because I put a new bolt in it, and it was still loose. And I put new seals in here, right? So what I noticed is I put the old seals and the new seals. So I doubled the seals, and it tightened it up really nice. So with that being said, that's that. And then the foot pegs were completely worn out, and the springs, or I don't know if it's the springs or the indentation in the frame, but the springs are unobtainium. So it was either that or go with a whole new set of foot pegs. So what I decided to do, let's take some little aluminum, believe it or not. I don't know if you can see that. I know it doesn't look exactly pretty, but it gave enough space, and I put one on the lower leg of the spring as well down here. And it tightened it up, and the peg is tight. No more rattling. That's really nice. And I did the same thing on this side. I don't know if you can see it better maybe. I did it there, and I super glued it. And it stuck, and it works out really good, really tight. On this peg, let's see if I can show you, I had to put a spacer not only on the spring, which is here, lost my finger, there we go. There's a spacer there, but I had to put one under here too as well, because it was indented into the frame. So to tighten that peg up, yeah, I had to do a little bit of work on that. Everything else was pretty good. I rattle can painted the spring because they wanted to charge me way too much to get it powder coated. But the frame and the swing arm are powder coated. The swing arm was black when I got the bike. I hated it. So I had them blast it and then powder coat it. The original color, I mean, I was going to go with barrel aluminum, but they said that their blasting process creates a little bit of residue, so and then I would have had to work it with a wheel and all, so I told them, yeah, just let's powder coat it. So anyway, I'm happy. I used the RAL 6018 color. I know it's not exactly Kawasaki color. If you look at the plastic, which is a little more yellowy, this is more accurate to the actual OEM color of the 94. But I don't know. And then the graphics, it all blends well, though. I thought, you know, there is some minor differences, but yeah, and it's I'm very, very happy with it. I'm gonna do another video on the seat. Let's see what else. Oh, and I decided I bought the Pro Circuit silencer, but the way it was angled, it looks like it was going to put that black residue right here from the exhaust, and I didn't like that. So I went back and I dug up the OEM silencer that came with it, and I cleaned it all up and painted it. And I had to, look how far I had to space this thing. Look at that spacer. So, and I had to gap it here too, or should I say rig it. And it kind of pushed it out a little bit. I don't know if you can see the alignment. But it works well. I like it. It's far enough away. It's angled properly. And I did nothing to this after first startup, so there's nothing on there. And I'm going to do the same thing with my CR. Getting a little sick of that. I'm gonna have to shim it. There you go. Let's see. The exhaust pipes I made a video about. I had to salvage. They were pretty beat up, but the heating process with that tool that I bought that pressurizes the pipe, yeah, that works. It works really well. And the icing on the cake, the 1999s came with a blank clutch cover, and I hated it. So I bought I think it's, what is it? It's 94 through 98 had the Kawasaki on the clutch cover, and this one was available, and I bought it. This is a 1998 KX250 cover. So everything else went really good. I replated the cylinder at Millennium, and yeah, I didn't shave the head or anything. I did notice on the build that there were two different head gaskets you could put on. It looks like one was 40,000. Maybe that's too big, I'm not sure. But the other one was 26,000. So I bought a rebuild kit with all the gaskets, and I think it was Vertex. So I just put on there whatever. I didn't measure it, but it seems really good. And you know, I haven't really rode the bike, but it looks or feels like it's got more than enough compression for what I want to do with it. So anyway, there it is. And of course, during COVID, when I was building this thing, nobody had spokes available. I had to buy the Excel spokes that have that special keyed. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of that, but I had no other choice. I needed to move forward on it. So, and I did go with aftermarket radiators, just like this CR. There is absolutely nothing wrong with the OEM radiators on this thing. They look really good, with the exception of they're dirty. But these, I like them being a little bit wider, keep it just a little bit cooler, you know. So, found brand new radiator defenders, or whatever you want to call them. The bike came with a triple clamp that had the Pro Taper on it, and I'm not a fan of the Pro Tapers. I kind of like the older school stuff that Renthal made. What else? I think that's about it. Oh, and I'm running, the bike came with a 1349 sprocket setup, and I'm doing a 1350 to match this CR. So my plan is to find a 90s YZ 250 and a 90s RM, hopefully one of the better ones, and I'm going to take all four bikes out and do a shootout. But that might be a couple years off, seeing how it took me almost a year to build this one. What else? I don't know. I think that's about it. And as I build them, I'll let you know. Oh, and the kit is Polar Sport, the plastic kit. It came out really good. Yeah, I really like them over UFO. And you know, I don't know. I guess they're all about the same, but I just been using Polar Sport, or yeah, Polar Sport. So I think they've been really good. But like I said, the fit and function was kind of weird on this, in particular with this, you know, setup where I understand that this was stripped out. There was a couple of places that I didn't understand the OEM setup. I put this on here to kind of keep it reduced along with that. Oop. See those little insert things? So, I don't know. Looks good though. And when I take it out to the track, because I'm only going to do one track ride on it before I do the big shootout, and we'll do another YouTube. Thanks for watching. Bye.